In this topic about the protists, we will be discussing about the diatoms. Diatoms comes from the two words di and atom. So what does the diatom means? Di means two and atom is a small indivisible part. The part which cannot further be divided is called an atom. So in diatoms means that they were made up of two parts, and that's why they were called diatoms. And we can see their remains, and even today we have various type of diatoms which are present in our environment. So diatoms are unicellular autotrophs that include among the chrysophyte algae, and they are characterized by large green-brown chloroplasts. So they have large green-brown chloroplast, and such an algae which contains the large green-brown chloroplasts are called chrysophyte algae. The diatoms are both individual and loosely integrated colonies. So sometimes they are, single diatom at all over the place, or they can join together and make colonies. And they are present from saline to freshwater aquatic sources. You can find those in the lakes, you can find them in highly saline waters of the ocean, or maybe in other conditions as well. So, and they can also be present in the range of temperatures. You can go towards the poles, and there you will find the diatoms where there is very, very cold. And you can come towards the equator where there is sunlight, more sunlight all over the year, and there you will find the diatoms as well. And mostly they are common towards the Antarctic planktonic regions where there are planktons. The diatoms are much more abundant there. The diatoms are of two types. These are the centrales. The centrales are preferring the marine environment, and the other one are the pinnales, which are most common in the freshwater lakes. And there are some remainings of the diatoms which can be found in the fossil record, which are called diatom frustules. Now, what are the diatom frustules? We will be discussing in the next slide, where we see a diagram of a diatom. How does the diatom is made? And they also make the endospores. So all of these things can be found in the fossil record, and with the help of which we can understand, or we can find out their species, and we can see that if and when they were present, and with the help of which we can see that how the protozoa were present in the earlier life forms. So here you can see a diagram in which you can see the descriptive morphology of the diatoms. If we start from the upper side, then there are the two things: epivalve, which is a sort of a curve-like structure, a hat, making a hat, which is called epivalve, and then there comes an epicingulum and hypocingulum. And when you both combine the epicingulum and hypocingulum, that makes a girdle. And beneath the epivalve and girdle, there comes the hypovalve. So wherever the word epi comes, that means above, and wherever the hypo comes, that means below. So hypovalve is the downward structure, which is below, right? So hypovalve and hypocingulum, they make the hypotheca, and epitheca and hypotheca, they make a complete frustule, and that we can see in the fossil record. So we'll see the next thing, which is diatoms. When were the first diverse flora of diatoms were made? The first diverse flora of the diatoms were made during the mid-Cretaceous, and they made the 10 families from we can see those 10 families from the Aptian rocks. Aptian rocks are the regions where these diatom fossils have been collected. And there are 100 genera of centric diatoms in the upper Cretaceous. So we can identify some of the rocks which were present in the upper Cretaceous region, upper Cretaceous era, and in there we could identify the 100 genera of centric diatoms. Centric, as we have discussed, the one which are living in the marine environment. And the diatoms were the first pinnate diatoms appeared during the Paleogene, colonizing the freshwater for the first time. Pinnate means they are having pinna-like structures, and the group reached an acme during the Miocene, right? So Miocene is the region in the Greece where these diatoms were collected, and there we have the diatoms which were present, and they were at, and this is also the name of an era, right? So that means these protozoa, the diatoms, they were at acme. That means they were at highest possible point during their diversity.